I just want to make enough to pay dividends, then invest in black businesses. It teach us to hate what we see in the mirror, but it can't break our spirit. They gon' let me in this club in these dirty vans. Clean money, I count stacks with these dirty hands. Do a show, caught the rack with my new advance. 50 bands, 80 bands, 100 bands. I'm the American dream. We the American dream. No money, no class, look at them.
Pulling up in that new toy, the wrist on that boy, rock star like Pink Floyd, waving at rude boy, I'm waving at you boy, ran off on the two like True Goy, imagine me do boy, you could never do what I do boy, still ducking that I did boy, in Paris for a hit boy, these ain't the same type of hits boy, can get boy, you don't take these type of risks, boy, cause this boy been throwing that like rich boy, you miss, boy. Your numbers don't add up on the, that was 10 years ago. If you know, you know. Yeah.
Coach, we find ourselves at the foot of the Rockies, Denver, Colorado, for this edition of the NFL on EA Sports. A moment ago, through a shower of pyrotechnics, it was the hometown Broncos taking the field as they get set to do battle with the Houston Texans. The first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final two bring us as we're off in Week 9? And as we see so frequently here in Colorado, that one over the end line, so it'll come out to the 25. On the ground, this is Lamar Miller. And he'll work his way across the 30 to the 32. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
On 2nd down, here's Miller. And this carry not as productive. He's swallowed up at the line of scrimmage. The Pro Bowler, Chris Harris, is in on the tackle. Off the corner. Where'd he come from? Well, I guess he came off the corner, but really nice play.
I like when you're able to pose a question and answer it at the same time. That's exactly where he came from, but it's not something that you normally see. Most of the time, we're thinking about those guys covering pass catchers. In this case, he was a big factor in the run game. No gain.
Play action for Miller. Now Watson. And a 3rd down pass falls incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything to warrant the flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And it'll be 1st and 10 Broncos from deep in their own territory. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. Here's Royce Freeman, the first carry for the rookie. And he's up past the 10 to about the 12. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
On play action, they'll throw. Rolling to his right. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Andre Howe. And they're going to be set up in the red zone right around the 17-yard line. That interception sets them up beautifully already in the red zone.
And you can hear it all the way up here. Oski, everyone turned the block, find a spot, and now they're set up inside the red zone for their offense.
A 1st down carry now for Miller. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
All right, Brandon, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, They're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
They'll toss it to Miller. And he goes backwards here, losing yardage back to the 16. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down.
I saw Von Miller in college at Texas A&M, and all I kept hearing about was his speed off the edge to the quarterback. But what impressed me, his balance and his ability to take on blocks and be a force in the run game, as we just saw there.
Fells has it left side. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. This is what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you've got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
Now on the return, Brendan Langley. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. And Denver getting set to take the field. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division, looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number 1 goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number 2 goal is win your division. Number 3 goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can try to have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Benardrick McKinney there to make the stop.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Flushed out right. He may try and run for this. Pretty solid gain of 7 yards that time as he scrambled, but now they face a 4th down.
That was a good effort there, trying to do it on his own. But as a defender, you're in a tough spot because you have coverage responsibilities behind you. And if you take off too quick to try and get him down, he might loft it over your head.
So better to track with your man defensively than try to go up and make a stop on the quarterback.
Exactly right. What you're hoping is that your guys in the front 7 can get him down.
Heading out is the Texans offense as they get set to take over here. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point.
The kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about
toe
that.
Bashed it.
Super toe.
Faking the give. Now Watson. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Todd Davis. And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line. And he may want to track down that football because that's interception number 1 on his career.
You're saying that's going into the trophy case?
I'd put it there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That's when you ask the equipment guys to make sure they hold it for you after the game. But if you play in the back 7 on defense, that's part of your job, finding ways to take the ball away from the other team.
And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Back to throw here. And he's going to go down. The Texans come at him and able to bring him to the ground. DJ Reader. Busting throw to get him for a loss of 6. The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. They'll set up a throw. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
They're bringing a lot of pressure here already in the first quarter. Already sacked him once. Now they get in there and knock another one away. You think maybe that Tucker rule being gone makes defenses a lot bolder?
Yes, indeed. That time, lucky that the arm is going forward. Incomplete pass. And McManus able to put it through. And that will tie us at 3-3. So they do get 3 points, but that's now 3 drives with only the 3 points. Not a ratio that's going to win you many ball games.
Not at all, Brandon. And think about it this way. We all know payoff is the key, right? And wouldn't we love to have the concession on every T-shirt that's been printed in football that says finish on it? Because that's the mantra everywhere. Got to be able to finish drives, put points on the board.
Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. They'll start out on the ground. It's Lamar Miller. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and it's Texans football as we get going in quarter number 2. They've got a 2nd down and 8 to start things out. They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Watson going to give this one to Miller. And just a short gain that time as they're able to get him down. Just a couple on the ground there, and that's going to bring up 3rd and about 6. You mentioned very early on the need to establish a running game for this young QB. They really haven't been able to do that, though, in the first half.
So that means what in halftime? Adjustments time, right? Figure out what they are. Figure out the things that they really want to accomplish and who to run behind. Which are your better blockers? Find those guys and get in that direction.
And this is going to be incomplete. Jamar Taylor there on the coverage.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. And that one hits at the 7, but bounds into the end zone, and that'll be a touchback. Now the Broncos offense, they get set to head back onto the field. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. They'll run. This is Hunt. It's a 5-yard gain, but they'll still be a yard short here with 3rd down now looming.
Nice job there defensively on 3rd down. Not only did they string the play out, but they didn't allow any room for a cutback. Really well organized on the defensive side.
On 3rd down, that's Hunt. It's a gain of 3, and it gets him to 1st.
Well, they're currently the best in the NFL in converting on 3rd down, so it was no surprise there that they picked that one up.
And they've done it in many different ways throughout the season, Charles. Picking it up, running it, throwing it, just effective on 3rd downs all year long. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. This is Freeman on 1st and 10. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Play action is supposed to be used to slow down pressure, slow down blitzes. In this case, though, if it takes a little too long to develop, you got people right in your face.
And lucky just to get rid of the ball with the arm going forward. Could have been a fumble.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
He'll look to throw. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there and gets the good defensive position, able to affect the play.
A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. And here comes the Texans now. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
On the crossing route, complete. It's Fuller. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. Here's a give to Miller. And he'll be taken down at the 34. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Watson now to throw. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Von Miller in there to get him. And that is sack number 15 for him on the year. Gonna need something special here on 3rd and long. After that sack, what does Watson have in his arsenal? Out of the gun, Watson. He finds his target, Fuller. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. They get 20 yards there on 3rd and 19, and an unlikely 1st down. 2 minutes to play in a tightly contested first half. Back to Denver right after this. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. 10th carry now for Lamar Miller. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another 1st.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And a short pickup there down to about the 9. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up 2nd and goal. Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall.
That's a win for the stop troops right there. And if I'm them, I get a little bolder now. They won the first battle. Keep coming after them. Put the pressure on them.
They get it to him running left. And this play doesn't go anywhere. Backwards, losing yardage to the 11. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. Off of play action, it's Watson out to his left. This is caught. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
On any given pass play, you never know exactly where your exit points are going to be. On this play, it was flushed to his left, still on the run, able to accurately throw the football for a nice 1st down.
They'll go with Foreman, and this one will wind up with him losing yardage back to the 4-yard line. Now the Broncos going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this first half. Line of scrimmage, again the 4-yard line, 2nd and goal. He's going to get it running right. And he gets into the end zone. Touchdown, Houston. Lamar Miller, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Texans are in for 6.
And that touchdown gives them a touchdown lead before they attempt the extra point. What a great way to end the half.
Yeah, great job to put themselves in front. And now, see on the sideline, special teams defense scrambling, saying we want to preserve this for the final moments of this second quarter. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Now this Broncos offensive unit ready to head back out onto the field. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you've got to figure if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself...
And that's caught inside the 30. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds to go in the first half. Exactly 50 yards on that last play as they just go from 125 to the other for 1st and 10. Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. He'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave him with 2nd and a yard.
Okay, he's not going to get the first down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. The former #1 overall pick, Jadeveon Clowney, in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year. They'll throw now on the final play. And caught by Sanders. Touchdown Broncos. Emmanuel Sanders, as time expires in the first half. And the Broncos are an extra point away from tying the football game. Extra point from McManus is good. So thanks to the late touchdown, it's a tie ball game here heading to break. As now we send you out to Orlando and hook back up with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. This fielded at the 2. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. Now it looks like we've got a Bronco that's banged up on the play. We'll step aside and get a report when we come back to Denver. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll come out throwing here on first down. Escaping the pressure right. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. And it's knocked away and incomplete. Jonathan Joseph there on the coverage. So, Charles, tie game here. What are your keys as we continue to play this second half?
I know people think it's always trite when you say the same things over and over, but they're tried and true in the game of football. Who's going to block better? Who's going to tackle better? In this case, to me, it's turnovers. You've got to take care of the football in order to win the game.
From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10. Now it's Hunt. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down. The Broncos on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd down and 12. They'll look to throw. Under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack. DJ Reader in there to pick up his 2nd sack now of the afternoon. The Broncos send out their punter now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. This is taken at the 18. So a change of possession here on the punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. Here's the Texans offense now, readying for their first possession of the second half. Their defense did its job, yielded no points. Now it's the offense's turn.
And how much fun is that when you set things up to start a half, and you just tell you guys, hey, if you can shut them down, get it back for our offense, we can roll. And they played out perfectly. Now, can the offense do what they wanted to do at the half, which is find those weaknesses and now attack them and score some points.
And break this tie. Watson, off play action. Flushed, and he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Von Miller in there for the sack, and it's an important one from a personal standpoint, as that is sack number 100 in what has certainly been a terrific career to this point. Gonna need something special here on 3rd and long. After that sack, what does Watson have in his arsenal? From the gun, here's Watson. Going deep for Hopkins. So they took a shot there on 3rd down, couldn't get it. Now it's 4th.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. That's taken at around the 40. 31 yards on the punt there. And the Broncos take over, 1st down and 10. And Denver getting set to take the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
And he goes across midfield and down into Houston territory. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3. On 2nd down, Freeman. And he's going to be met at about the 43. Call it a gain of 3, but not enough to move the sticks. It'll be 3rd and about a foot or 2. Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the 1st down marker was and making sure they didn't get there.
On 3rd down, that's Freeman. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30. A 10-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Broncos 1st down.
Well, partner, what do you think? Might have been 4-down territory if they didn't pick it up, but...
Yeah, it's a moot point now. I was curious, so if they didn't get it there, would they have gone for it? I guess we'll never know.
Yeah, we didn't have to make that call, but I have a feeling both of us would have said, go for it.
A toss play to Hunt, and he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. And he will find his man on the end route, complete. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
On 3rd down. It's Hunt, and he's going to take this one down to about the 23-yard line. It'll be called a gain of 2, and that'll leave them with some options here on 4th and inches. So out comes the field goal team now for the second time here today. He hit his first, this one from 40 yards out. And McManus able to put it through, and they will take the lead at 13-10. So that's a 7-play drive that ultimately stalls out there at the end.
Yeah, things were a little leaky in the beginning on that drive, weren't they? But how about the front 7? As they got closer to their goal line, things stiffened a little bit, forced the field goal.
That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back on the field here. And hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win second down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs. And that's what they...
He's got a man. Complete. And he takes it all the way down to the 28-yard line. Watson hitting Fuller with a big one. 47 yards. So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Now a handoff to Miller. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 10 yards there, good enough for a Texan first down.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
Watson hands this to Foreman. And he'll go down, and that will do it for the third quarter of action. Welcome back now to Denver. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the fourth quarter. They run again with Foreman, and he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. Still a couple yards short of the first as the 3-yard gain brings up a third down.
Definitely too early to panic, but that is his 4th carry of the game, and collectively has in total 10 yards. So maybe there's no panic, but maybe some concern.
Yeah, and maybe a little concern up front because they're not giving him any space right now. They'll try to run for it with Miller. And this play doesn't go anywhere. Backwards, losing yardage to the 11. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
Well, you talk about clutch. That one was right down Broadway, and this game's all even here in the fourth.
Yeah, he didn't leave any doubt, did he? Good snap, good hold, dead center. Almost like a big-time golfer in a major, firing at a pin from the fairway, trying to win the tournament going down the stretch.
And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. And Denver getting set to take the field. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
And he'll be tackled at about the 35. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
On the run, this is Hunt. So a nice job to break the one tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. It'll be a pickup of a couple, and it leaves him with a 3rd and 3. They'll set up to throw. Got a man. He finds Sanders. And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. He had their lone TD earlier. Now he's got a first down. We saw a number of good games earlier today. This one might top all of those. It's been a dandy as we come up on 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. A Bronco first down there, 12 yards on the play.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the fourth quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down fourth quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Lindsey. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. It'll be a gain of 6. And now the Texans are going to stop it as they signal for a timeout. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the fourth quarter. One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. He'll drop to throw. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he is going to get the first down as he covers up after a pretty good shot there. That one good for 7 as this long drive continues and the chains move again. This quarterback now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19.
Here's Hunt. And an alley to run. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. A great effort there with touchdown number 12 on the year. And the Broncos have broken the tie. McManus's point after is good, and they will take a 7-point lead. Now McManus on to kick this one off. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Now the Texans offense, they head back out to do battle here. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
Dancing to his left. Now he's going to let it go deep left side. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Back to the air, Watson on 2nd down. Going deep this time for Miller. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. A very nice pickup of 33 yards. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Miller will get it. He has been busy today. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down. Time for a break. We'll come back for the electrifying conclusion after this. Again, it's Miller. And he spins through. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. It's Kareem Jackson making the play defensively.
I like the call there because that was one to take time off the clock and get them closer to getting out of here with a W. In the mind of the play caller, all you want to hear is tick, tick, tick.
Back to throw. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Von Miller in there to drop him as the clock continues to roll.
Partner, you absolutely cannot take a sack in that situation. Now, it's also 4th down.
Down 7, and they've got to go for it here on 4th down. They'll look to throw. He's going to let it fly. And that is incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Broncos are close to finishing off this football game. The Bronco offense now set to come back out onto the field. They have the lead, obviously, late in the game. I guess the good news for them is if for some reason they would make a mistake, a field goal does the opposition no good.
Everyone loves to have a little bit of a cushion, and that helps you immeasurably. But the bottom line is, do all the things that you're taught in order to close out the game. Don't even let that become an issue.
Yeah, but still a one-possession game. This one not fully over yet. They'll run again with Hunt. And he'll get this into enemy territory, but not by much as he's down to the 48. And now we're going to get a timeout here called by the defense as they get the stoppage with 65 seconds remaining. The Broncos on 3rd down. They've hit on half of them, 5 for 10. This will be 3rd and 5. They'll look to throw here. And Sanders has got it complete. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. It'll go as a gain of 12, and that should just about wrap this one up. This quarterback now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. The win for the Broncos, seemingly assured. They go down to a knee.
Listen, anytime you take a knee to end a game, that means you've won it. So it doesn't matter whether it's home or on the road, but there's something a little extra special about doing it in front of your home crowd, isn't there?
And the home crowd applauding. They're happy with what they've seen. Chalk this one up in the left-hand column for a win.
Yeah, that's right. Head to the locker room, throw the wristbands in the crowd for the kids.